You're welcome to the Messiah channel. Thank everybody for watching this video, and I expect that you share the message. We are in the end times. Our messages are primarily related to the end of days. When we say the end times, we're talking about the period when the activities of Lucifer, they are coming to an end. They are coming to a climax, because based upon the prophecy in Daniel 2:44, there is a kingdom coming that will be eternal. The kingdom of the Messiah is coming to dismantle the kingdom of darkness. So we are in the end times, and the activities are moving rapidly. And so we are focusing on those activities, and we are asking the question, when will Putin press his hand on the nuclear button? I've done videos about Russia and America, and I believe that there will be a war, and I think you will agree with me that the possibility of a war between Russia and the US has also increased, particularly since 2022. And recently there was a video showing an ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile, in Russia that was put on a silo launcher, ready to be launched. And the missile's name is YAS-6, YAS-6 RS-24. YAS-6 RS-24. There was a video of that missile being loaded on a silo, and according to records, it will take 7 minutes to load, 7 minutes to load, and the YAS-6 has a destructive power 12 times the atomic bomb that the US dropped on Hiroshima. YAS-6 also has a payload of 500 kilotons. In terms of range, it's able to reach a territory as far as 12,000 kilometers or 7,456 miles. The implication is that the missile can strike anywhere in Europe, that is anywhere in NATO territory, and it can also strike the United States. And when you hear mainstream media talking about such activities, you have to be very serious, because recently, as you are aware, the mainstream media doesn't talk about so many important things. Are they suppressing information? Are they deceiving people? Or what is their motive? Is this a way of supporting the kingdom of darkness? Is it a way of suppressing the truth? So Newsweek has reported what I'm saying, and other alternative medias also have reported that Russia is readying nuclear weapons, and this news is coming at a crucial time. It's coming at a time when the Biden administration in the United States is planning to send Patriot missiles to Ukraine. The Patriot missile is one of the most advanced air defense systems in the world. And Russia has threatened that if the Patriot missile is installed in Ukraine, the missile will be a legitimate target of Russian attack. And what will be the implications? And when the Patriot missiles are installed in Ukraine, it means it will be very difficult probably for Russia to operate in Ukraine. It will be like a no-fly zone. It also means that probably NATO personnel will be on the ground to operate the Patriot missiles in the time being. And if those missiles are targeted, possibly it could lead to direct conflict between Russia and NATO. We have to look at all those things in the context of what is happening now, looking at both Russia and looking at the United States. What is happening in the United States? There are attacks on electric grids in the United States, and there has also been attacks on food processing facilities in the United States. And if you look at Russia, there have also been cyber attacks in Russia, and in a very unusual manner, Russia's military bases, nuclear military bases, were even attacked. So we see a flurry of cyber attacks going on both inside the United States and also inside Russia. I think I did a video some time ago, and I said that there will be cyber pandemics. You saw the pandemic that came in the world around 2020, and now you see another type of pandemics, including this involve cyber attacks. And in the United States, are you telling me they don't know who is responsible for attacking electric grids in the United States? Are you telling me they don't know who is attacking food processing plants in the United States? Definitely they are aware who attack Russia's military bases inside of Russia. Will you consider those things to be red lines? And if they are red lines, then it means that the time for direct confrontation between Russia and United States is very close. Okay, so we are asking the question, when will Putin press his hand on the nuclear button? When I say when, we're talking about the timing. Why are we asking that question? We're asking the question because recently a Russian military commander said that Russia has no option except to use nuclear weapon, because conventionally Russia will not be able to stand the machines, will not be able to stand the combined power of the 30-nation NATO. And the Russian commander openly said that the only option left for Russia is to use nuclear weapons. Not only that, Putin came openly and said that the risk of nuclear weapon is now very high. And he also said that Russia is contemplating changing their nuclear doctrine to include a first strike option. What does it mean? It means that Russia will reserve the right to use first strike. And what to be the pretext for using a first strike? Definitely, if anything happens like the existence of Russia is under threat, then Russia will use first strike. Or if there is an attack on Russia or its territory, then Russia will probably use first strike. You know, there has been an attack on Russia's military bases inside of Russia. And so what red line will be bigger than this? And you also know that Russia is aware that conventionally they may not be able to match NATO, and so their commander is saying that the only option left is to use nuclear weapons. So that's where we're asking this question: when will Putin press his hand on the nuclear button? When we're asking this question, it should tell you that we are in the end of this. There are two things I want to also say. Number one, personally, I've had visions about Russia attacking the United States. And in one of those visions, I saw Putin, who was transporting a long stick and a short stick. And the long stick, I interpret it to be long-range missiles, and the short sticks are also interpreted to be a short-range missiles. And not only that, there are other prophets who have also said in visions that Russia will attack the United States. And one of those prophets include Dmitry Duduma. In addition to the visions I'm talking about, you also have to remember that in the kingdom of Lucifer, the world is divided into centers. I will mention only two of those centers. Next time I will mention the other centers. One of the centers is Rome, where we have the Pope, and Moscow is one of the centers. And so when we say Moscow is one of the headquarters of the demonic kingdom, then you have to watch very carefully what is coming from Moscow. And Moscow is where Putin is. And Moscow is where we have the world's most dangerous nuclear weapons. The Americans are aware of that. NATO members are aware of that. And Putin is threatening to use those weapons. So in the context of the end times and the prophecies of the end times, we are asking the question, when will Putin press his hand on the nuclear weapon? Will he do that? When there is a video about YA-6 nuclear missiles being loaded on the silo launcher, is Putin just trying to test the weapons to see whether the weapons will work, or is Putin just intimidating NATO and the United States? Those are questions, but I believe that it is not intimidation, is not a test, because the final trumpet of heaven has already sounded based on the vision that was given to me on August 27, 2013. So many things are happening rapidly, and so now, anywhere you are, you should know that we are approaching the end of this world. We are approaching the time of the coming of the Messiah. The prophecies are being fulfilled. The prophets of the Most High are holy prophets. I'm not talking about the fact that they are holy in terms of their lifestyles or whatever. The messages that they are proclaiming are holy messages because they are the words of the Most High, who is a holy God. And the book of Revelation talks about events that will happen in the end of days. And so the Lord is allowing you who is living now to observe things yourself with your own eyes, and those who have ears, let them hear what the Spirit is saying. The Spirit is saying that we are living in year times. We are living in the times of the Most High, and Putin says he reserved the right to use preemptive nuclear strike, and Putin is loading nuclear missiles openly for everybody to see. And Putin's general is saying that they've run out of options, so the only option left is to use nuclear weapons. And the Americans, do they care? I believe they don't care. The reason why they don't care is that for the new world order to come in, America will have to be decapacitated. America will have to be destroyed. America will have to be weakened. And so it is in the interest of the principalities and powers and the rulers of darkness and the spiritual wickedness who sit in high places. It is in their interest for nuclear Armageddon to come so they can usher in a new world order without United States. So that's why we are asking this question. When will Putin press his fingers on the nuclear button? If you have not accepted Yeshua, this is time for you to do so. Think about life without Christ. Think about what you will be like when judgment day comes. Think about what will happen to you. Ask a question. Will God be pleased with your lifestyle? Will God be pleased with your work? It is your work in the Lord that will be the basis for your reward. That will be the basis for judgment. We are living in years' times. Putin is ready to strike United States. He's threatening and he's letting everybody know. Russia's ambassador to the UN has raised warning, and they are not bluffing. Thank you for this message.